Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castellan in a shop. I'm going to show you a great little project. It's a skill builder. It's something really simple that you can give away. You've got almost no cost. You can play with technique, style, how to use a skew, all your tools, how to texture, how to decorate. You can have a lot of fun with it. These are the things you play with to become a better turner. So when you really invest in a piece of wood and it's really got to be special, it comes out great. So this one is a needle case. Yes, my wife is the queen of sewing. She got a crown and everything. But she asked me if I'd make a little needle case that she can put in her purse, because every once in a while somebody says, oh, the hem came down. She said she'll pull it out, pop out the needles, have 2 or 3 needles with a little wrap of black, white, red, whatever on them in here, and that's always in her purse with about everything else in the entire world except the monkey wrench. But it works for her. Now, I also did a couple for her friends who do embroidery work, some hand quilters and folks like that. So they all want one of these little simple needle cases. And you talk about simple, little block of wood, 10 minutes of time, and you turn something out that you can walk back in the house and say, oh honey, I was thinking about you. Look what I made today. Even if it's not true, she doesn't have to know that. Okay? It's that guy thing. Oh, and for you lady turners, you know what I'm talking about, so why I gotta talk to you? Okay. Needle case. You ready? Of course you're ready. Watch. Let's get going with this project. Now, what I'm using is a piece of mahogany. Now, I got about 1,000, no kidding, about 1,000 of these blocks after Hurricane Katrina from a little guy making a rig that, well, everything else he owned floated away. So he gave me these 2 by 3 by 6 blocks. And I've used them for a lot of things, including jam chucks. I rip them down to 7/8 by 7/8 by 5.5, 6 inches long. I also have used diamond wood, lace wood, a piece of coco bolo that had a sap run in it. I've got black walnut. I've got boxwood, Castillo boxwood. So it really, it lends itself to almost any wood that you've got. I made it square. I put it in my spigot jaws chuck on my one way. You can put it between centers to do this. I crank it up. My old mentor told me crank it Z up when you're in doubt, make it go faster. So all I'm going to do is take my roughing gouge, knock some corners off. I'll try to do this all in real time so you get an idea how simple a little project this really is. And it's a great crowd pleaser. That crowd being the wife, the girlfriend, your mom, your wife and your girlfriend and your mom. You know, if you're a really brave man. Now I'm chucked back down on top of the round. Now at this point you really do need to have a chuck. Now I'll put it back in. While it's coming up to speed, I'm going to knock the rest of the round off. Now I'm just doing this to get an idea if I had any flaws in the wood. And I really don't. I'm running at 3,000 RPMs, just so you know. I crank it up, because I just like to knock these things out in 5 minutes a piece, 10 minutes a piece. And these are what I call skill builders. This is something that helps you get better with certain tools, techniques, designs, and helps you play with things. 3/8 inch twist drill bit in my drill mandrel. This piece of tape is a 1/2 inch back. That's my depth gauge. I go in up to the depth gauge. See how high tech this is? You know, I've got these in the fall catalog if you're interested. And I have the bit changes next. Take my fingernail gouge and clean this up a little. A little bit off there. Now, this is all because I won't be able to go back to this face again real easy. I haven't slowed it down. I'm just knocking this thing out for you. Well, it's still sticking out here. One drop of medium thick CA glue on there to seal it. That quick, doesn't take much. I need a depth gauge because I want to know how deep that is so I can cut it off. So I stick something in there and get that. I know what that is. I want it to be about 1/8 of an inch or more away from it. So I'll put a little mark. I'll bring my center up a little bit. I don't want to bounce around and get a big chatter on it. And just about the time it's coming off, back to the center off. Cut that. If you leave that center up, it's going to make a little spin action. It could jam you a piece and damage it. That's what that end looks like now. Get set off out the way. Said I'd change again. Out goes the center. In comes the drill chuck. Because I needed a sharp bit when I started these. I found me a twist drill bit or a spur bit. This is 7 millimeters. Use them for pins. You might have one around the shop. It could be 1/4 inch. I'm going to bring it up now. This is going to go in again. I've got a piece of tape set back in there. It's going to get hot. That's okay. That's down inside of a piece. How far is that? About 2 1/4 inches. You do want to check some of the needles and see what the length would be. So that's out the way. Now, bring my center up again, because now we're going to get the shape in some stuff. All right. Put a little pressure on it, not much. Multi-purpose tool. 1/4 inch by 5/16 inch shaft. It's like a beating tool. So I'm going to go about 7/16 or so. Hey, there's no magic to this. If you overshoot it, you can fix it. You need to take special note of how many times I've measured on this piece. Alright, back this off. Now, this is where this is your scale builder for a lid. You take this up and you look at it. No, not quite. Take a little bit off. No. So exact, right? Now, see, I was just barely getting on there. Can you see? You think I need to get a little closer? Let's get a little closer. All right. We can. Come on, get in there. All right, now. What I did just now was put that little shoulder in there and check it, and it just barely got on there. Now, all right, I know that. So I'm not going to go that deep. I left some down there. But I am going to go a little negative on this shoulder. Pushing just a little bit. Okay? Now, that's my rough cut, right? Push it on. It burnished it. You normally can't get it back off, so this is normal. But it burnished it and made it a tight fit. See? As guys say, if you put a little wax on it, you don't really need to. It put it right to it. That's going to have a good pressure or snug fit, because you don't want the pins to fall out, or needles, whatever they're called. Taking off that nose, I'm putting on my soft touch. Okay? Soft touch is an important part. Bring it up a little. It's going to close up this gap. Now what I have to consider is I can't go much smaller than about, half an inch or so. So I'll take my skew. This is going to be my next one. So rounding over here is really good. Then I'm going to go back. was water stained, so I'm going to have a little color shift up here. I'll show you what we're going to do. Now, that's really nice. Now, I can sand this right now without slowing it down, but let me tell you what this is like. This is like trying to sand a tabletop while you jog by holding a belt sander. Doesn't do a lot, except you can tell somebody you sanded it. Alright? Back the stop off, fingernail gouge, with the Ellsworth grind on it. Clean up this. Now, if it chatters a little bit, you're going to get some vibrates, you're going to get a little chatter in there. So you come around, you've made 2 slice downs, you're going to do a real high negative scrape. You hear that little noise? That's chatter, boys and girls. It's out there. If I stop it, you'd see it. But we can just back the speed down a little bit. Get up here and buff this off. I don't want to round this corner, not on this particular one. But let me tell you, right now, anything you want to do is absolutely fine. You can come in and go down on an angle. You can come back and put a shoulder and go back in. Think about a lipstick tube. Okay, for you real manly guys, you have seen a lipstick tube. If not, sneak in a house, check one out. Go down to the drugstore. Oh, they don't have those anymore. And check it out. Now, this is pretty much good for the outside. I got to get a length on it. How do we do that? Move this out. Grab it just right. You can grab it. Okay. And now we have to determine a depth. Okay, so I get out my new high-end depth gauge. Here it is again. You see where it falls? About a 1/4 inch away from the key. So we come up here and we mark it at the key and add a little. You don't want to add a lot. Only get 2 out of a piece. Okay, that's my line, remember? Bring the speed back up. We're going to take it off. Wait a minute. I want to show you something. We're almost done. Let me show you something. In the interest of full disclosure, I have to tell you that when I use the little depth gauge that's in your market, and how do I put this? Sometimes you don't mark the right spot. So this one, can you see? It doesn't work as well as the other one. But this is a nice one now that doesn't have a hole in it. I put a little wax on it and works out really nice. Hey, this is one for the wife or your mother or your friend or whatever. Oh yeah, by the way, when I had to stop earlier, it's because I said wife, mother, girlfriend. Somebody came up behind me and gave me a on the back of the head, so I had to restart. I don't know how she found out. Hey, I'm Captain Eddie Castle, and I'm back to making shavings. I don't know about you, but I am. Really wonder how she found out. I need to make one of these out of diamond wood. That's going to be killer looking. On an angle? Oh, yeah.